Hi, so my name is Michael Wirth, and I'm a mountain and ultra runner. Mainly do ski mountaineering, but over the summertime run in the mountains and absolutely love it for the simplicity. So next week I'm hoping to go for the Elks Traverse FKT, which entails traversing all 7 of the 14,000 foot summits in the Elk Range just outside of Aspen, Colorado. Starts at Capitol Creek, the trailhead there, and ends in Ashcroft, so goes all the way through the Elks. And you first summit Capitol Peak, then Snowmass Mountain, then both the Bells, South and North Maroon, then Pyramid Peak, and finally make your way up East Maroon and down over to the Conundrum Basin to make your way up Conundrum and Castle Peak. The route is roughly 50 miles with over 25,000 feet of elevation gain. The current fastest known time is held by Rickey Gates. Ideally, I would love to do it in 24, sub 24. We will see. There are just a lot of variables that go into a fastest known time like this one, because you are running on trails for a good chunk of it, but the other parts of it are class 4 and 5 climbing. So it requires a lot of endurance and the capacity to run as an ultra runner, but it also requires the capacity to move really efficiently in technical terrain in the mountains, which is exhausting both physically and mentally. Just a little basis of what a FKT is. It stands for a fastest known time, and essentially what it means is someone establishes a course, kind of like a race course, and they establish a record on it. So you're going for a course record. The cool part about an FKT in comparison to a race is once that time is put up, it's put into ink and doesn't just last for a year until the next race. It lasts for however long until the next person comes around and beats it. And so Rickey Gates' FKT of 27 hours has been up since I think 2014, so 8 years. Hopefully I'll be able to beat it, because he is a runner that I really look up to and is way more accomplished than me. This route has a lot of history in the Aspen area because the first person to do it was Neal Beidleman, with Hollenbaugh as his partner, and they did this back in '96, I believe. And that was right after Neal got back from Everest, particularly the Into Thin Air disaster that was accounted by John Krakauer.
Hey, I'm Neal Beidleman, and I live in Aspen, Colorado, right here. Nice place.
How long have you been here?
Well, since 1964. So, pretty long. How old were you then?
Negative 23.
All right.
So you were the first person to do the Elks Traverse, right?
Yep. As far as I know, nobody's come forward and said that they've done it like that. So I think so. It was a vision that I had from a while ago. I think some other people may have made some attempts at it, and it's perhaps an obvious kind of thing to do, but to go from one end to the other and just, run them all together without coming out seemed like a really cool thing to try to go do. They're so diverse, as you know. They're fair ways apart. There's not a ridge just between them. The mountains are geologically different. They have different settings, different characters, and it's a real journey. It's a voyage to go experience them all at one time like that. Perhaps your question will get into this, kind of how it came to be on that particular time frame and day and why I did it then. But when we actually ended up doing it, I did it with Jeff Hollenbaugh. I just gotten back from Everest in 1996 after our trip up there, and just the whole pressure and the media, all the stuff with the media was just overwhelming. From the tragedy in '96, which I was a part of and a guide for Scott Fischer during that time. But the media that followed all of us after '96 was very intense and became very contentious, and it was pretty heavy. It was pretty weighty. So it was a spring season, so. The tragedy was May 10th, and I finally got back to the U.S. Right at the end of May, and then I think we did the Traverse probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 weeks after that, probably 6 weeks after that. And I just needed to kind of get away and clear my head a little bit, and thought, well, this should hit the reset button pretty hard, give it a try. I just wanted to go and be in the mountains, which is what I love. I mean, that's why I went to Everest to begin with. Our total time was 34 hours. It hadn't been completed before like that, so our goal was to move quickly, but we weren't, we didn't have our heart set on a particular time, or there wasn't a target, fastest known time or anything like that. I wanted to see if it was just possible to do, period, in the style that we, wanted to go after it. It's tricky. It's not just a run. There's a lot of climbing that you have to do, and route finding, and you're only on trails for a portion of the whole thing. So a lot can happen even to really good runners. You can bonk, you can get lost, you can fall, you can twist an ankle, you can roll down stuff. I mean, it's 25,000 vertical feet, something like that. It's a huge day in the mountains, and it's definitely a challenge.
Awake at 3 a.m. Didn't sleep super great. And now we're gonna go run for 24 hours. Should be really fun though. It's like in the most beautiful mountains. So I'm excited, and I get to see some amazing people halfway through, which has me super psyched. Have them cheer me on as I'm probably gonna be feeling pretty tired. Challenging myself more than I've challenged myself yet.
I think I made it up to the top of Capitol in around 2 hours and 15 minutes. probably only like 20% of it is on actual trails. The rest of it is a lot of boulder hopping, following elk trails, and climbing. Anything from 3rd, 4th, and 5th class free soloing. So it's super technical. I think that it is the most technical, fastest known time route in Colorado. Has to be one of the most technical, fastest known time routes in the United States. So it's hard, definitely, and kind of relentless. I just wanted to start off the route in a mind state of thankfulness and appreciation for this beautiful landscape that I was about to run over. And it was really lovely to be awake at 3:30 in the morning and look at the moon and see the magnificent stars and be able to vibe myself and say that prayer and just really feel connected. The prayer that I read before embarking on the Elk Traverse was the Earth Mother prayer. We are all thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. So Pure Lakes is kind of the section that you traverse to get over to the Snowmass Capitol Ridge, and it's this really remote, no trails, 12,000 foot basin that feels like you're on the moon because there are just these massive granite talus boulders, and you have the magnificent Satan's Ridge that connects Capitol and Snowmass just staring in front of you, taunting you. You have to cross that ridge, which is definitely one of the dicier parts of the traverse because the rock is so loose, and because we've been getting some rain, some of the dirt on that climb up to the saddle of Satan's Ridge was frozen solid, and so getting up that was a bit spicy, and the rock is just notoriously loose, so you just hope you don't pull something out. But then continued hopscotching over on the west side of Snowmass, kind of towards Siberia Lake on the massive granite talus. Made it down to Snowmass Lake in 5 hours and 55 minutes. One cool part about the Elks Traverse is that you kind of follow this geological timeline through the different rock formations that comprise the mountains. On the westernmost side of Capitol and Snowmass, they're made of granite, so just a beautiful gray silver rock. And then you make your way towards the Belsen Pyramid, which are comprised of a red shale. To get to South Maroon, which was the third summit of the day, I went up the Lost Remuda Basin, which I followed exclusively elk trails, bushwhacked through a lot of willow negotiation, as I like to call it, and then ascended a saddle to take the west ridge of South Maroon to the top. I'd never done that route before, so it was a little bit of route finding, but just didn't stop and kept moving. Made it to the top of South Maroon, and then you have the notorious Bells Traverse to get over to North Maroon. I got pretty dehydrated coming up the west ridge of south. Just didn't have any water. Descended north rather efficiently. Chugged a bunch of water in the creek, and then still like wasn't on top of my hydration, because once you get a little behind, it's really hard to come back. So going up Pyramid was a bit of an endeavor for sure. I just was super dehydrated and like kind of exhausted and didn't really want to think about food or water anymore, so I just like dropped my vest at the bottom because I was going to come back down that way, and just like went up the 4,000 feet up the village of the technical pyramid climb, and yeah, just wanted to focus on my breath and the technical movement and not think about other things and just rely on my mind. That was definitely the hardest part of the traverse in terms of like my mental state and feeling excited, and then also physical state. But I knew that I was gonna see Jeff and Carly and also Dawson in the Maroon Bells parking lot shortly thereafter. So like having done 5 of the summits by myself, seeing friends was like really exciting and put a smile on my face, and I was just like, that is kind of what got me back down to the Maroon Bells parking lot. I immediately went and just laid down in the creek, full shirt and shoes, and then started eating as much food as I possibly could. Jeff was the best throughout this, like throughout the end. It was really so amazing to have him with me. But yeah, moving up East Maroon, like for 2 hours after having that sardine and avocado burrito, pretty hard to digest, undoubtedly. Switched completely, exclusively over to spring gels, but still had to keep eating, which was very hard. And then the darkness came around, hydrating well as we were ascending East Maroon Creek, and I just got this like amazing second wind. So yeah, I guess like how I define it was like the Capital Snowmass section, then like the Bells and Pyramid, which were hot and a bit dehydrated, and then the night run, which was freaking awesome. We saw a bear, it ran away from us because we were so strong, spirited, and we made it to Triangle Pass, and then just like booked down to the Conundrum Hot Springs in the dark, running down trail. Made a turn that Jeff strategically pointed out, bushwhacked for a little while, and then ascended the 3,000 foot scree field of Castle. It was just go time. Like, go do Conundrum, go do Castle, get the fuck down, go as fast as you can. At that point, I'd done 52 miles and accumulated 23,000 feet, so my legs were definitely tired, but like, felt great, and Jeff was just the best. Like, the whole time, you can go faster, dude, like, go fucking faster. And I'm like, Jeff, I can't go faster, my legs hurt. He's like, you can go faster.
Hell yeah, another sub 8.
got to the Castle Creek trailhead at 2:36 in the morning on Wednesday.
Oh my God. It looks so much grosser from here.
Donut.
I always thought that somebody really fast after they figured it out and, you know, kind of really put the energy into, you know, getting it totally dialed and understood with the intention of going as fast as they could approach or maybe break 24 hours. I was surprised it happened so quickly. You know, I knew it would happen, but I'm surprised that Rickey's record dropped. You know, you broke his record by so much right away. And yeah, 22 hours that's a really, really fast time for that course.
Thanks.
Really fast.
I'll try and take it home tonight. The way you hold me tight. We're just two kids from the city of the stars.